Yeah. Hello. Happy Wednesday. What is that? Mercury Day? I just thought I'd come up here for a few minutes and just pay tribute out to the ancestors, known and unknown, that love me and are my ride and die ancestors that want to see me ascend, that want to protect me, and maternal, fraternal, what is it? Ancestral mothers and fathers, um, indigenous ancestors. I said unknown and unknown, and my uncle just transitioned. My uncle had Ashay, my mother, Aunt Pee Wee, Addie Prince, all the saints. All the ancestors that I don't even know, even the alien ancestors that love me and are protecting me and want to see me ascend, and we healing each other because we can heal our ancestors too. I'm so grateful for the. It's early in the morning. The healing experience that I went through with the return of the holiday that they say is Halloween, but the return of the ancestors, the return of the dead, which the ancestors been with us since the summer equinox, but the veil is thin during the time of October, like October 31st to the 3rd of November, and then again, um, it was a portal on the 11th, and then they said it was one on. Is it 11? I just seen like I said, my uncle, it's been tough. My uncle transitioned last week. I just seen his name where I had sent something to myself. But I just want to talk about the meaning of the word uncle. In different societies and stuff like that. Um get my little paperwork together. I got my cards out too. I guess I'll start off with that. I had to pull some cards. I pulled the big queen. Oh, this is let me advertise. This is the Hoodoo Terror, the 78 card deck and book of root workers. Tayani Lee McQuiller. I do the playing cards, but I actually got this from Barnes and Noble. This is really good. It talks about the Seminole Indians, a lot of that we didn't learn about, and I ain't gonna get off into a whole lot of subject about the Seminole Indians that we didn't learn about, that actually won one of the biggest wars against the U.S. besides that they were defeated, in the Vietnam War, but they so was defeated in the first war with these Seminole Indians fighting for their freedom. They don't talk a lot about that in our history books, but this book goes into it's a lot of books about that, but these cards are very educational because it go into a lot of deep history of what was going on around here, the southern areas with our indigenous ancestors and stuff like that. It talks about the Indians and the even the African slaves or whatever. It's hit neither here nor there. Some people believe that, and this is the daughter of Styx, and I'll read the meaning. This is the 8 of coins. You see this man? It looks like a man reading or something. These people are actually, some of these people actually existed in this reading. And this is the 6 of knives. You see that? 6 of knives. It's a guy on a boat, like a young man on a boat with 6 sticks or knives or whatever. And they like the major arcana. These are not major arcanas. I don't have any major arcanas. Yes, I do. This is the 9 of 6. You see this woman? She holding a gun, and she got the Bible. She got the gun and the Bible. Back in the day, I used to believe that these are major arcanas right here. The big queen. Yeah, I do have one major arcana card, but let's see. I know it, but I still like to read. Big queen. 33. And that's my master number. Isn't that something? And I keep pulling this card too, the big queen. Um, let's see. It says it gives a scripture and everything with it. Let me show it again. This is the big queen. And like I said, this is a deck by Tiana Lee McQuiller. And the artwork is created by Caitlin V. Forsey. So this is the big queen. It says, gives the scripture and it gives the herbs. It says, prepare the table, watch in the watchtower, eat, drink, arise, ye princesses, and anoint the shield. That's Isaiah 21:5. So it gives the scripture and it gives the herbs. It's the plant. It's called a Jezebel root, Louisiana Irish. The carnival Indian queens. The carnival Indian queen smile as she displays her Black Hawk bucket. See, it's a Black Hawk. She got that man in her. He symbolizes he was born, I mean, from 1767 to 1838. He was the leader of the Sauk and Fox tribe. He was a powerful warrior who was well known for his bravery resisting colonial encroachment on his land and way of life. A spiritualist leader from the Midwest named Mother Leafy Anderson petitioned the spirit of Black Hawk for protection for her temple. Today, many spiritualists and root workers in Louisiana and beyond work with Black Hawk to ensure victory against their enemies. So the tradition of the carnival Indian in New Orleans, as we know them today, dates back to the early 18th century. When enslaved Africans arrived in Louisiana, many of them sought refuge among the indigenous people and were offered it. As a result, the cultures and bloodlines mix, and their descendants still pay homage to the spirit of love, freedom, and friendship, and resistance that brought their ancestors together. This thereby made the carnival Indian a symbol of boundless beauty and invincible. Though most carnival Though most carnival Indians may be considered patriarchal, meaning masculine, some due to their hyper visibility of men and boys, the big queen, which is feminine, plays a big role, a central role in their tribes. The archetype of the big queen is not only a vision of beauty with her ornamentally, look at how she's embellished with all these. The big queen is not only a vision of beauty with her ornately embellished garments. She is also an artist, a teacher, a peacemaker, a protector of this sacred tradition. The big queen is everything. So it say when she appears in a car, you're being asked to consider your roots in regards to your mother with. What would your ancestors say about whatever is going on in your life? What advice would they give? How would they handle the situation? The wisdom of our mothers is a portal to the past. That doesn't mean that you must do things exactly as they did or perceive the world exactly as they perceived it, because that would be impossible. What it does mean is that they should be given an opportunity to speak to you via consideration. This not only connects us with the women in our bloodline, but also nature as a whole. The change of seasons and the cycles of birth, death, and decay will always be. But it is the space between that a big queen inhabits. It is the spirit of continuity and the joy that its true comprehension brings to ensure nothing is ever truly lost. Nothing is ever, and even if it can't be found for now, therefore there is always abundance, always beauty, and always a reason to celebrate. So if you receive the big queen in the reading, consider the following. How do you give and receive pleasure? I love this card. It reminds me of my grandmother. That's how they look. How do others and the world come into play? Do I accept abundance into my life, and how? Eat, drink, and be merry. All that glitter isn't gold, but it sure is pretty. Do I accept compliments for my beauty or style with grace? What aspects of your life do you nurture most? What aspects could use more nurturing? Which family members or friends do I nurture most? Am I neglecting anyone who deserves my attention? Do I purposely seek reasons to smile and laugh out loud every day? How often do you reflect on the beauty of being alive and of being you? Am I still connected to nature, the earth, or have I lost my way? What do I do on a regular basis to help me restore my sense of balance in a hectic world? Go camp and take a walk in the park. Maybe buy a plant. Or three, how does all the knowledge I've accumulated or spiritual work I've done benefit my family, my community? What is my legacy? What does your mother or mother figure have to say about that? Okay. That's very good, very good. I ain't gonna do all of the readings, but yeah, that's the big queen. That's one of them. Yeah, but yeah, I want to get into and pay homage to my uncle that transitioned last week. This is what, November 2021. Today is the 17th, so he was buried on Saturday. Saturn's Day, may he rest in power. I wanted to do this at the funeral, but the program went along a little too fast, and I did get there late, and I apologize, but I'm surprised I even made it because I had so much going on. I don't want to show nothing. I had so much going on and everything, personal, and I had a hard time dealing with this because I really don't. I really didn't feel like it was his time. That's just my opinion, and I got a right to speak my opinion. Regardless of what anybody thinks, I just don't feel like it was his time, but it happened. So, you got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly, and life is a part. Death is a part of life. It's something that we hadn't been taught in this society, but it's a part. It's a cycle. But me personally, I don't think it was his time, and I wasn't ready to lose him because he meant so much to me. The root word I want to talk about before I get into all that. I want to talk about the root word of uncle, and I think this is a South African. It's called awa. They say awa. It's called the little grandfather. Um, your uncle can mean the unification of the masculine energy in you. You look at your uncle, and he's a reflection of you. Can be a reflection of you, combining the masculine and the feminine. You looking at your uncle and your aunt, and you looking at your uncle as he teaches you different things. Even in the South African pronunciation, it's pronounced uncle is pronounced and uncle is derived from an old French word. It's called oncle, uncle, and it's called what is it? Vandus. Vandus. Kind of like it's a little grandfather, brother of my mother or father, husband of my aunt. And like I said, the South African pronunciation is which is how we used to talk when we spoke out. Some of us, when we spoke our native language, we would say or we would talk with vibrations and stuff like that. That's where the vowels come from. A, I, O, U. If you really study, the origins of language. I don't know everything, but I've done my little studying of, how, like, my name is pronounced in the it started out in Africa and it ended up in Japan, but it's really pronounced by those people over there. They pronounce it it's a way to where you the way we used to talk. We talking in like an alpha state now, beta alpha, which we not vibrating our tonsils, so we're not tapping into the energy of the magnetic fields and the energy of nature and the universe, because we just say words without vibrations and stuff like that. So it's like I said, the South African pronunciation is of uncle, and it's in the Chichewa. It's amloom. That's how you pronounce uncle. He's one who helps, advises, and encourages. The Anglo French Latin is avuncuss. Like I said, it means the mother's brothers. He can be a protecting. And when you dream about them and stuff, it can mean hidden knowledge, helping you through difficult times. When you see him smiling at you in a dream, it can mean something good is coming to you, a positive benefit. Um, a lot of cultures, the uncle is looked at as a second dad. That's how the uncle is. He's a little called a little grandfather. He's younger than the grandfather, but he's still older than some uncles is some and sometimes the uncle is younger than the niece or nephew, but most times the uncle is a little older, but he's not old enough to be your grandfather. Your uncle is also, it can be a spiritual meaning of yourself in society. From his failures to nobody's perfect. From his failures to his success, you can mirror your life. It can be a sign of security and protection, not just in a dream, but in general, the relationship that you may have and the memories that you have with your uncle. Uh, for growth and protection, support, and socialization and children. That's how the children, a lot of times in our culture, the children don't have fathers, so they look to their uncles and stuff. Uncle has a big meaning, plays a big role. It's a masculine role model that plays a vital role in your life. Uncle provides a unique type of love. It create memories for all to enjoy for a lifetime. You may see them as a second, like I said, a second dad in many cultures. Yeah, and dreaming of your uncle could be a spiritual meaning of yourself in society. Like I said, from their failure to their success, it could mean protection. It could mean good things. Depending on what type of relationship y'all had, hidden knowledge. Um, and I think I went over all that. Did I go over the yin and the yang and how it can be a reflection of your feminine energy, that yin and yang, which is the masculine and feminine energy. Mike can what the animus, the animus means the masculine with the feminine that needs to be integrated in your life. The balance, when we say balance, we mean in the balance of the masculine and feminine energies. And say when you dream of both the aunt and uncle together, it is a good, it's good, it's love, meaning love, security, and protection. I think about, give a shout out to my aunt Pee Wee, which her birthday was a couple of days ago. That she was the next to the baby, and she passed away in 2011. And that was my mother's grandmother's youngest baby, my Aunt Pee Wee, and my uncle that just was buried on Saturday. That transitioned a few weeks ago. Yeah, but I just want to look at how different cultures, how they look at uncles as a little grandfather, and the meaning of the uncle, and how important he's looked at in society and everything. And I want to ask ourselves, are we, I know I'm an auntie, I know, are we fulfilling our roles and stuff like that? Are we actually you know honoring our ancient ancestors and abiding by these traditions? Because a lot of times the format of everything was laid out by the African spirituality system. A lot of cultures have taken that, a lot of religions have taken that and created books and stuff based off of that. But we need to, go within a lot of times. It's okay to read and everything. Like I always say, it's nothing wrong with reading books, but a lot of times you got to go inside and figure out who you are and connect with spirit via from your inside soul. I got these candles burning. But you got to connect and find out, am I in line? Am I going in the direction that I need to be going? Or am I abiding by, the Western tradition? It hadn't worked for us so far, but I just want to talk about my uncle and how, it really meant a lot to me in my life to grow up with him. He was like, I didn't really have my dad around. So I look to my uncle as my uncles as like a father figure, and I remember him always. I'm not saying he was perfect. I'm not praising or trying to worship no human being or nothing like that, but I'm just giving homage and honor to him as being my ancestor now and the things he meant in my life. I remember him taking up time with me. This thing is want to mess up now. My mother worked a lot. My uncle worked all his life too, but he would keep me a lot of times. And not only would he keep me, he would treat me right. I felt the love. I apologize if, I know he might not was able to be, other people, or they didn't get the opportunity to get to know him like this. And I have this same thing with my dad. I have family members and cousins tell me this about my dad too. Like, you didn't get to know him. We grew up with him. He was cool, and we loved him, which that's how it be sometimes. I think everything happens as it should. It may not seem like, it may not be perfect, but everything works out for the good. But I know he was instrumental in my life because he not only did he take up time with me, he acted like he cared for me. He took the time out to teach me how to sing and how to not try. Like I said, I'm just giving a due respect and honor. I'm not putting no human being on no pedestal or praising them or worshiping nobody or nothing like that. I'm just giving honor and due respect. Without my uncle, teaching me and working with me, I wouldn't even be able to sing as well as I've seen and has climbed to the level of success of music and being able to, sing and perform among some of the greats and, be on the radio stations and performing with people that's, big time artists and wanting to be, being asked to be signed with them on record labels and stuff. So I'm thankful for the way he taught me, how to sing in church and working with my, he took a time out to work with us, not just me, but some of the other people, even some of the other people that wasn't even no kin to him. He made a big impact with music. That's how he talked to you and expressed himself through music. He was, besides my stepdad, he was one of the best singers. That voice was, I know he's somewhere with my grandmama and them and the Saints singing because his voice was phenomenal. I hear it. I always, before he even passed, I always hear his voice in my, he's anointed. But I'm just so grateful for the time I got with him. A lot of times I wanted to be with him, like recently and stuff like that, even before he, really got down really sick like he was. But even though I couldn't be with him because people have their own way, you want people to do their thing as long as they can. You don't want to be like, you want to be respectful, or you don't want to try to limit them. You want them to go as long as they can. But even though I wanted to just, you love somebody, you just want to just, I know what you need to do, but you can't do that. You got to let people have free will and stuff like that. But I appreciate the time we had. I just, oh man. I mean, it really, I ain't even gonna lie. It threw me. It really threw me. When that happened or whatever with my uncle, I had to really brace myself and I had to balance out. I'm not, I'm not, I am superwoman, but at the same time, I'm in this human body. I feel pain like other people feel it. It affected me so bad. I ain't even gonna sit here in front. I didn't even think I was gonna, I didn't think I was gonna make it through this. I was like, hey, it is what it is, because when you lose somebody, even though I really hadn't lost him, he's still with me, but it's in a different type of energy form. I know he's my ancestor now, but when you used to seeing somebody, like, they on their way to church, they getting ready to go do this and they driving around here and moving around, it's different. Excuse me. When you know that you're not gonna see them doing that no more. It's something different about that. It threw me, it shook me, because we were real close. Like that, I just, like, now when like last night I told my son, I was like, can you wake me up? Cause this is, it's got to be a dream. Like, my uncle not here no, like, he's not here no more. I mean, it shook me. It had me in a state of, I started having anxiety. I started having like anxiety attacks and stuff like that. I was really kind of down bad for a few days, and I kept it to myself. But I'm good. Like, I'm not totally, I ain't gonna front and be like, oh, I'm not totally I'm not. It's gonna be a while, but I'm trying to connect with him. Through spirit and everything. I've been doing my venerate. If I actually thought that I could never connect with him again, it wouldn't be good for me. So I'm glad that I know that my ancestors are not completely gone, because I don't know how I would deal with that. I really don't. I don't know, because I don't like I'm connected with spirit, and I try to be balanced with nature and the universe. But as far as having people here that really love you at this time on this earth, it's not me. It's not here no more. So when you lose somebody that was here in this dimension, that you knew that they really, really cared, like they really had a loving heart, like that pure. They say the good ones, they die early. Those mean people, that's why you gotta be like, that's why I'm learning. I'm learning every day. I I never I'm never at a place where I just know everything and I've arrived. You can always tell me something. I'm so glad in a way that I did. At first, I was like, oh God, why did I move back close to this area and this and that? But if I wouldn't have been here and I've been gone off to Europe and all these places doing, and I wouldn't have actually been able to see my uncle the little times that I did, which it was, because a lot of times I see him ride, I would go by the house and just sit and just talk to him or whatever. We just talk. He'll just pull up on me. If didn't have that time, it was more valuable than me being away making a whole bunch of money and living a good life, because you can't replace some people. Some people cannot be replaced, and he one of those people. He's a rare jewel. He was a rare jewel. He was a he was not perfect. I learned from his success and his failures, but he was the closest thing and epitome of an uncle that the African tradition talk about. I mean, it's been times when my uncle done came and got me and took me to job interviews like a couple of hours away, and he didn't want no gas money. He ain't complain. He ain't make me feel bad. I mean, he knew all kind. He was there when I got married. He was like, he stood up for me like my dad, my uncle did, when I got married and everything. I mean, it's been so many times we have all called on my uncle. You ain't gonna hear about it. He ain't gonna talk about you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be like, oh, I know when he helped me, I got to hear about how much of a piece of shit I am. No, and I can't say that about everybody. But I'm just, I ain't up here to. I'm just keeping it real. Personally, I'm a realist, mother. If you can't, like I tell people, you don't got to deal with me. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? When you die, you're gonna die alone anyway. You might got people there, but when you transition out, you ain't gonna be really focusing on if you got a dog there or if you got a husband. You gotta do this thing for yourself when your name called. But I'm just being real. Like I don't have that. It ain't no lot of love here like that. Like it ain't people that care about you like that. So when you lose a real one like that, it really, really do something to you. I hate it for the people that didn't know. I mean, because he was a good hearted person. He'll give you anything. He'll give you anything you want. But it's not about that. It's about the love. That love is priceless. When you got somebody that love you like that, that'll come and ride for you and get you, and you could be in jail or hell, he'll come pick you up, be like, you need something to eat? Do you need some money? It's gonna be okay. You need, he'll be like, when I was this age, I want around these, I was traveling there. And he was, he done worked at Smithsonian, he done been to Howard, and I don't know whether he finished or whatever, but that was a smart man. He done traveled a lot of places and did things. I know a lot of things he kept on the inside, and I know like all of us, he might have been disappointed about some things, but I just know he loved his family, not just his wife and kids. He loved his brothers and sisters. He loved his brother. What's that? He loved his brothers and sisters. I never heard him say anything. He would never say, and you know, families have ups and downs. Me, I love you, but I'll tell you to your face. You kiss I'll tell you, I love you all day long, and I'm cool with you, but I'll tell you when when you offend me or I don't like something, it might be a cuss word come out too. I might be like, well, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? My uncle was not like that. My uncle always told me, since I was a child, I would tell my uncle what I be going through with some family members. My uncle would tell me respect and love. That's all he preached. He preached that. He loved that Bible. And sometimes I be like, oh, come on, you gotta live your life, man. You gotta let your hair down. You can't cuss these people out. Like, tell them to go to hell. Like, come on, I'll do it for you. Give me the permit. He'd be like, no, it's not. That's not the way to be. Like, you're gonna have to show love. You're gonna have to forgive. You're gonna have to, respect. I was like, but what about when people don't respect you? Like, I was like, a lot of these people, they take that respect thing to another level and try to abuse the good people. Like, come on now, don't let nobody, what I'm saying. He loved that. Sometimes I'll be like, man, I'll sit there and listen. I'll listen to what he had to say because he had a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. He loved that Bible. He quoted them Bible verse. I'll listen because I'm like, you know what? I can get something good out of this. He believed in what he believed in. I respect, his beliefs and his religion. And it's a lot of good scriptures in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But I be like, sometimes you just gotta balance it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm learning, like, you can't be too nice out here. You gotta let people know how you feel, because it just seemed to me like the ones that's all evil and mean, they be living a long time because they running over everybody and stressing everybody out. I'm just being real. They just getting it in on me. I'm not. I'm agreeing with him about love. I got unconditional love for people. I'm trying to be balanced. I'm being compassionate and forgiving. But I be damn. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna sit here and well on me, and I'm gonna sit back and take it, I'm gonna have to fuck you up one way or the other. If I ain't trying to get no charge, but if I gotta cuss your ass out and verbally abuse you, I'm gonna show unconditional love, but you cannot be to the point where you can't stand up for yourself. Cause people, they'll be around here still go cry. They would look. Don't be trying to hurt me, then come pray for me. I ain't gonna call. Don't. I pray for myself. I can pray for myself. If that don't work, then oh well. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna hurt somebody and you can't say I'm sorry, or you act like you ain't got no sense to know when you offended somebody, then don't come praying for me. That's how I feel. But I just want to get back on subject. I'm so grateful of the time that I had with him. Although I don't feel like it was his time. That's my opinion. It's neither here nor there. But I'm so grateful to have an uncle that epitomified the meaning of our ancient tradition of what an uncle is supposed to be. Like I said, I didn't have to worry about him talking about me behind my back. If I needed help, I didn't feel like an asshole asking him for help, because I knew he wanted to see me doing okay. You know what I'm saying? And he loved his children. I'm not saying, he gave me more than he gave his kids, because he's supposed to take care of his children. I love my uncle for that. He always wanted to make sure that his wife and his daughter was okay. And that's what a real man's supposed to do. They supposed to do that. Anybody that don't agree with that, they can go to hell. That's what a real man's supposed to do. He's supposed to make sure that his wife and his kids is okay. And a lot of times, the men that I'm raised around, they might not even be with the wife, and they make sure that that wife all right. That's how real they is. I don't think that's no simp. Now, some women take advantage of it. Yeah, they do. They take it too far, but when you do that, you better enjoy it, because you might not never get that in another lifetime, honey. You won't get it in this lifetime again, but you definitely won't get it in the next one. Because how you treat people is universal laws to this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. to have somebody that care about your well-being and care about that you don't want you to struggle. That's real love. Cause you got a lot of men and women out here, they with you, but they want to see you suffering. You got a lot of people in our culture. You got a lot of people in our culture. They like to see each other suffering. They like to see each other going without, impoverished, not having enough and lacking. It gives them a thrill, but when it come back on them, you look at them, they ain't really never got enough themselves. Because what you don't realize is universal laws to this shit. What you send out returns back to you. That's why I done got to the point. And I thank the ancestors, I thank the great mother, the father, the son, that through this the thinning of the veil and all this stuff, how I'm even able to send out love to my enemies, send out unconditional love and compassion and forgiveness, and ask that whatever I've done to offend them, that they would have compassion toward me, that they would forgive me. Because sometimes you don't know if you offended somebody or not. That we can vibrate at a higher level. I don't wish no harm on nobody, honey. Nobody. But I'm not no fool now. See, a lot of people take it when you say you don't have nothing against them and you don't forgive them, they would think they can keep coming back playing with you. No, I may not have nothing against you and I might not let it go, but damn, if I'm gonna keep it, do you know it's harder to change a nigga? If you a nice person and you a good-hearted, loving person, and you around a lot of negative energy, before you save them motherfuckers, they'll destroy you or drain you or kill you. You'll be the motherfucker sick or dead trying to sit up here and save a bunch of demons when all they doing is just sucking the life out of you, pretty much. And you just on life support. Oh, what more? Can I do anything else to save them? And they just drain it. No. If you it's okay to keep your distance from people that you show. You can send unconditional love. It's no such thing as distance. That's an illusion. All this shit is an illusion, really. But it's no such thing as distance. So even though you can't be around some people, because people get tired of being hurt, and people, you know what I'm saying, you get close to people, then they use it again. Look, you like, okay, maybe we can make it this time. Like maybe, just maybe this time it'll work out. Soon as you get comfortable and you think y'all trying to build, because some people really don't, some people out here really want to build. They really want to try to have some. They ain't about that competition. I'm trying to see if I can do it better than. It ain't no competition. It definitely ain't no competition with me. Ain't no such thing as competition in my book. It really ain't. I don't even know what that is. And a little is good during certain circumstances, but a lot of people use it the wrong way. You need to compete against your damn self. That's who you need to compete against. And you get close to them, and then I got some more bullets to use. What they don't realize is the guns that they loaded to shoot you with, because you've been sincere and pure-hearted, and you didn't have no bad intentions. You had pure motives. That gun or what you call it when you shoot a gun and it I can't think of the word. It's still kind of early, but it ain't that early. It's kind of, what is the word when you shoot a gun and it jams? That gun might jam up and ricochet on you. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? You really got to be careful. But I'm just thankful that I had that relationship. May he rest in power. May all the ancestors. I'm so thankful for the return of the dead, and that I was able to see this year. And that, what is it? That Jason movie. I'm getting off subject now. That Jason movie was about a government. They ain't gonna never die. You better learn how to get steps ahead of them. That was that really about. We don't know the spiritual meaning of stuff. And then what is it that don't be in no concerts or no groups, no big groups, not now. Not especially not since who. I told my daughter that we was at the movies in 29. I had a real funny feeling. I said, look, she thought I was crazy, which anybody would when you can, pick up things and feel things in the future. A lot of people not used to that. So it don't bother it. It's on you. You can listen or you can learn. Either way, I done my job. Like, I mean, I used to be trying to be, look, I was looked at as being too aggressive because I try to say, no, you can learn. Now I'm to the point. I can only save myself and lead by example. If you want to help, but I'm not about here to sit out here and kill myself and drain my energy trying to tell nobody which way to go. You can learn. That's why my butt is so soft. Because I had to learn the hard way. I be like, I'm y'all sacrifice. But like I said, I'm trying to learn to be a better person day by day. This was a little tough on me. Um, I lost somebody that was dear to me. Not only that, I done lost some more people or whatever. Shout out to I know what is it, Tony Roney. May he rest in power. That's somebody I grew up with, a dear friend, and I didn't even know some of my other classmates had passed on or whatever. But condolences to their family. This is a Scorpio season of death and rebirth and transformation. It's not always physical death, spiritual death too. The Scorpio energy, the Oya energy. It don't feel good. It really don't. It don't feel good. And like I said, I'm moving into my North Node, which is the North Node, which is in this energy. But I've had a lot of spiritual death and transformation and rebirth, and it didn't feel good at the time. I Lord knows it did. I was telling my doctor when I was getting having some anxiety and stuff going on just with dealing with this. I was like, it's like I feel the spiritual pain. It feels physical. Like you can die from heartbreak. If you ain't got your spiritual, that's why people be sick and they have sickness and illnesses and stuff because they dealt with them traumas and stuff like that. When you don't deal with them traumas and stuff, childhood, adult trauma, hell, even present and past, even future traumas, even generational, ancestral traumas, chromosomal, DNA, emotional, physical. When you don't deal with them traumas and go within and know yourself and try to heal yourself and do that shadow work, after a while it shows up in sicknesses and stuff like that, and different diseases, heart, breast cancer, cervical, colon, all kind of diabetes. If you don't fix your inside, if you don't work on yourself, it's gonna come to the surface. It really will. I thank God that I thank the Most High. I thank the Great Mother, the Father, the Son, the ancestors, the spirit guides, the archangels, the 16. I'm thankful that even though it was been painful, I'm thankful that I was able to face my demons, face myself, face my best hero and my worst enemy, which is myself. And I'm still a work in progress. I mean, a lot of people talk the talk, but they ain't doing the work. They ain't working on. They get up here and tell you and can say out, but they scared of the dark. And that's where everything comes from, the darkness. You can't be telling me nothing. You scared and walking in fear. Now, I ain't going to say I say I'm fearless. Even if I'm scared, I'm going to say I'm fearless because the only thing that can hurt me is what's on the inside of me. Like in the word, it says in Matthew somewhere. Matthew look, Medea say. But over in Matthew, it does say the things that's on the outside can't defile the man, but it's what's on the inside that come from deep within. That's saying if you really interpret it, that lower self, those lower desires, that lower nature where you get down, that stuff deep down in you that you try to hide, that you don't want to confront. That's why you don't want to be alone, because if you be alone long enough, you got to confront yourself. And that a lot of people ain't ready to do that. They don't want to sit with themselves and talk to themselves and say, look, I'm the problem. I'm allowing this, like I am the problem. But I'm done. Y'all have a happy Wednesday. Mercury is the day of thinking and communication and revenue and currency and all that good stuff, and tap into those and tap into your inside, as above so below. And y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. Yes. And we got a full moon coming up too. Tomorrow? But I gotta go because I had a busy day. Got some things to do. Ashe. Like I said, shout out to my ancestors, my loved ones that's passed on. Shout out to my Uncle Head. Y'all have a wonderful day. Unconditional, unconditional love. Unconditional love to you. Healing of all traumas. Spiritual, physical, past, present, future, childhood, DNA, chromosomal, all traumas. And balance and wholeness.